Hey everyone, and welcome to the P-Wing. Today I will take you all on a little nostalgia journey because this is the Nintendo magazine in Denmark, like Nintendo Power, and these are my original back from my childhood when I was 3 to 4 years old. Actually, it's not mine. Actually, it was my brother who had a subscription for the Nintendo magazine. But after I was around 8 years old, my brother gave them to me, and I think I'm the one who have scrolled through the magazines the most. And yeah, I have a lot of memories with these magazines back when I was a teenager and a child, and actually in the start 22, where I was just sitting under my night lamp and yeah, see all the good games from the Super Nintendo area and the NES time. I remember when I was a child, I was looking through this magazine all the time and was dreaming about if I someday just could play one of these games. I have some of them in a grown-up age, and I have so much nostalgia for a lot of these games. I can't remember actually what's in the magazines, but I will treasure these for the rest of my life because, yeah, they are the original. But for the English subscribers who don't understand Danish, of course, I will, it's a Danish magazine, but I will do it in English and translate the funny parts and the interesting part, so you can have a little fun with it too. So it's in order, and I have actually made a little video for the first two magazines back when the channel just started, when it was called Nintendo Talk and it was a Danish channel. So we do it all again. Also, they included the two magazines that the Danish people have seen, but the video back then have only around 30 to 40 views, so I think most of the Danish viewers haven't seen that video either. So yeah, this time I'll do it in English, of course, and we will just chill and have a good time. So let's start from the first we got, and that's number 3 to 4 back in 1993. So yeah, there are some different topics in the magazines. Often there are reviews and a mailbox where people can write in, and often the answer to the in the mailbox from the Nintendo magazine was sometimes pretty rude back to the readers, and that can be sometimes pretty amazing things. But yeah, I know it's not the best shape, but as I told you, it's almost 30 years old. So this is where it says what the magazines have about. It had the Red Spell, some new reportage, Mario Mania, Box Mario, Sneak Premiere, Pro Corner, the hit list section with Super Mario. Hit list again for some reason, I'm not sure. Oh, it's the USA, from USA, funny. Tips and tricks, Game Over, tips and tricks again, extra. Yeah. So this is the Winter Consumer Electronics Show. I think that will later be called the E3, I'm pretty sure, where the Super FX chips was shown. There's something with Mario, the Hollywood hero. And we have some mailbox where people can write in, where people are asking about something. And here we have some sneak premiere, world premiere. We have Mega Man 5, and actually I think that a lot of people don't like Mega Man 5, but that's actually my number 2 favorite Mega Man game. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people didn't like it because it was too easy for a Mega Man game, but I really liked the game. It was one of the more easy Mega Man games. Mega Man games is often known as a challenge game, but Mega Man 5 cleared that very easily. So that was a blast actually. I have never played Mega Man for the Game Boy. And then we have Pro Corners, and here people can write in and ask if how to beat a game or a cheat code or something like that. Tips and tricks. Blue Brothers. Oh, this is the hit list in Denmark. So we can see back in 1993 we had Street Fighter 2 as number 1, Super Mario Kart, Zelda Links to the Past, Pilot Wings, Turtles 4. I don't know what the number 6 game is. I've never heard about that. Super Protector. I think that it's Contra. Pretty sure. Here in Denmark is called Super Protector, but I think it's Contra in USA. It's a weird name. I don't know why it's called that here. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I love that game. Super Castlevania, awesome game. Super Mario World, of course, awesome. Mega Man 4, Castlevania for the NES. Bart vs. the World, that should be a pretty bad game. Tiny Toons Adventures, Batman 2, Return of the Joker, Mario Yoshi, Robin Hood, I've never heard about that, Deja Vu, Mega Man 3, Super Mario Bros. 3. Game Boy, we have Super Mario Land 2, Mega Man 2, Kirby's Dream Land, Castlevania 2, Batman 2, Mario Yoshi, Terminator 2, Super RC Pro AM, I've never heard about that game either, Track Meet, and Super Mario Land. Ooh, yeah, Star Fox, alright. I'm pretty sure the name was changed, that it was called Starwing here in Denmark afterwards. So it's funny, it says Star Fox. I'm pretty sure the name was remade over to Starwing. And it says it's a top game. And they gave it 9 out of 10. Let's see what it says. This game has Nintendo really made perfect. Wonderful graphic that can't be compared to something else, and a credible game feeling. They like the characters in the game with a different personality, and the music is really good. You feel like you're in the cinema, it says, like seeing a science fiction movie. Star Fox just doesn't have only good package, but it also is a really challenge game with a lot of different levels and secrets. It's a game in the top, a thing you don't want to miss, it says, something like that. I tried to translate it in my best. We have Super Star Wars. A little walkthrough through the levels. I give it 9 out of 10. Oh shit, we have Blue Brothers here, and they have only got 3 out of 10. That's pretty low. It says, well, it wasn't that funny. No good bonus opportunities, no good graphic, bad control, and it didn't have any fantasy, like a good imagination. It was like copy other games. It wasn't original, it says, around something like that. I've never tried Blue Brothers, but I think it's like a Mario clone. And then we have Prince of Persia. 8 out of 10. Nice. I've never played the original. I played Sands in Time, I think it's called. I don't know about that game. I think that's a shoot 'em up here. 5 out of 10. Oof. Popeye 2. Awesome. It only got 4 out of 10. And then we have some comics, and I remember that I was clipping different characters out because I was making my own card game with the characters. So I'm pretty sad about I did that because I really wanted to have the whole comic. I actually have bought it in English, the completion comics, but I still think it's sad that I was cutting something from the magazine. Then we have the hit list in USA. That's pretty funny. They have Street Fighter 2 at the number 1 too, and Link to the Past pretty the same as in here in Denmark. Super Mario World is a little bit higher. You have better taste in USA, I can say. See? Yeah, and Super Mario Bros. 3 is number 1. Nice. Tips and tricks. Yeah, I always thought it was a weird section with the Game Over section because they showed you the ending of a game. So I think that was a weird thing to show in a magazine. Oh, Migi the Magical Crest. Nice. Look at this. Awesome. And then we have magazine from May in 1994. Oh, that's the wrong. That's not yet. That's not the right order. Sorry. That should be put in. That's the last magazines. Oh. So we stopped the subscription after that. That's pretty sad. But yeah, the next magazine is number 6 in 1993. Only 20 Danish crowns. I don't know what that's in USA dollars, but it's pretty cheap. So let's see, we have the hit list again. One look at that. Oh, we have the add-on for the Super NES. The best game of 1992. Best graphic and sound, we had Street Fighter as number 1 here in Denmark. Best challenge was Zelda. Best control was Super Mario World. Best character was Mario. I like that. Link and Ryu and Guile and Ken. I think they're all a Street Fighter character. Best game, Street Fighter 2. Can you believe we live in a world where Street Fighter 2 was rated higher than Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Super Mario World? That's insane. I like Street Fighter 2, but it's not near as good as Zelda 3 and Super Mario World. It doesn't make any sense. And the best NES game, we have Mega Man 3. Oh, no, not best NES game. We have also that, but best graphic and sound is Mega Man 3. Best challenge, Mega Man 3. Best control, Mega Man 3. Best front leader, Mega Man. At number 2 we had Bart Simpsons. What the fuck? What? And the best game was Mega Man 3. Yeah, I understand that. Mega Man 3 is a great game. And for the Game Boy we have Turtles 2. Metroid 2 for the best graphic and sound, Turtles 2. Best challenge, Metroid 2. Best control, Mega Man 2. Best front character, Mega Man. We have Kirby. And the best game was Turtles 2. Interesting that Metroid 2 is only at place number 4. And I think it's surprising that Kirby's Dream Land is so low. Is Turtle 2 that good? That surprised me. We have some question again from people. Yeah, Star Tropic is such a good game, and someone here is asking, how do you find the code to the robot to the 4th world? And that was a thing that many people didn't understand, because you have to put your letter you get with the box and the game in the water, and then you get the code. That tells you the code here, but I think that was an amazing touch. Star Tropics is one of the best NES game. And then we have a Zelda comic. Lagoon. I actually got that from subscribers. Another World. 8 out of 10. And the control back then got a bad score too. And I heard for people nowadays that the control is pretty bad. But yeah, I've never played. Some boxing and ice hockey. McDonaldland should actually be a pretty good game, I've heard afterwards, but I can see it give it a low score here in the magazine. What does it say? This game is a true Mario copy. The worlds, the levels are built up as the same as Mario Bros. 3, and sadly the control and the graphic is just as good. They don't come to the Mario standards. But the music is okay, and if you like platform, this is worth try to playing. I actually really want to try to play this game. I have heard some good things about it afterwards, and I've seen some gameplay. But yeah, of course, it's easy to see some Mario reference in games, but I still think it has its own personality, and I think it's funny that a McDonald's game can be some kind of good. And we have Gimmick, one of the most rare NES games nowadays. Another World. Hey, Nintendo fan. Okay, that's funny. So this is a thing where you can write into the magazines, you ask some questions and win a prize. And I can see back here I have answered some of the questions. So the first thing is, what machine do you play on? And I have said the Game Boy, NES and SNES. I have all three. Who is the machine belonging? And I said myself and my brothers and sisters. How often do you play? Every day, I said. When you play, is it most alone, with some friends, or with your sisters and brothers? I have said everything. That's weird. I don't think I play a lot with my friends back then, but alone and with my sisters I did. How do you know about the new games? From the shops, I said, and from the Nintendo magazines. How often do you get new games? And I said every half year, because I only got it for birthdays and Christmas. How often do you get the magazines? And I say rarely. Do you give the magazines to others? No. And then they ask how do I like the different topics in the magazines. I didn't like red spelled. I don't know what actually why I didn't like that. And I didn't like the new things from the game hall. But I really like the hit list for some reason. And the reviews. Funny. Lemmings. And the Prince of Persia for the NES got only 5 out of 10. Interesting. Star Wars. The Jetson. Oh, Lagoon. So, one of my subscribers really liked this game. I had a difficult time to start the game for some reason. Every time I try to look into it, it looks very dated. But what does it say? So let me read. This adventure reminds you mostly of Zelda. It's just near as good. The music and the graphic is definitely fine. The labyrinths are too big and too confusing, even for the hardcore gamer. They wish that the fight systems was better and the enemies was better. And they say there is a lot of those kind of games that reminds people of this game, so they recommend you to try another game that's better in the same kind of game type of game. So yeah, we got some golf and continuation of the Zelda cartoon. comic. Awesome. Yeah. Next up we have the magazine number 7 and 8, and it's funny, it's 5 Danish crowns more expensive. It's a little bit thicker, maybe that's why. Yeah, I can see the magazines afterwards is cheaper again. I really want to know who had that phone number. I can't remember why I wrote that down. Maybe it's not me. It actually doesn't look like my handwriting. Look like it's my dad, actually. Oh, this is funny. This is an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto, and I remember back in my senior year in the school, I was writing a thing for homework, and I was writing about Nintendo, and I used this interview to, I don't know, for in the thing I got from the school, and I got a 10 out of 13 back then, so I got a high grade. In Denmark, you were graded from, back when I was child, you were graded from, I actually can't remember now, was it -3? I think still is -3. -3 up to 12, but when I was totally young it was up to 13, and you higher you got, you better score you got. So a 10 was a pretty good score. And then we got Bubsy as a sneak premiere, and for some of you may know that I really like Bubsy, the first game. The Lost Vikings is a classic. I had that for my PC back then. And we have Pocky and Rocky. I don't like that game. The remake, I don't like that. Red Corner. Again, this shows the end game of the Migi, the Magical Quest. So weird to have that section. And they again talk about the best games for the year. I thought they already did that in the last number. We got some Mario. Comics. Wow, I had this game. And I can show you I had the Lagoon too, the game I was showing you before. And I got this. This the same game. I have it. I actually have 2 copies of this. Yeah, I got it boxed too. And of course also Migi and the Magical Quest that we saw before. I really love this game. It's such a colorful, awesome, great game, and it's actually got a top score. 9 out of, holy shit, a 9 out of 10. That's amazing. Yeah, it's a really good game, and you can get it for very cheap. Sit back and relax and get ready for a wonderful adventure. Tiny Toons is not as easy as the most of those type of game. Here even hardcore gamer get a challenge, and they'll notice the graphic and the sound is wonderful. Buster is a great, it's great made with the graphic, And enemies are good. And they are most impressed by the variation in the game. It's a beautiful platformer. So yeah, it's a really good game. It's a very short game. I'm not sure if I will give it a 9 out of 10. I more think it's a little 8 out of 10, maybe a 7. But it's a good game. Final Fantasy. Robin Hood. Surprising that this kind of game get an 8 out of 10. It looks bad. Maybe it's good. Yeah, here we have again one of the most rare SNES games. So that's a very expensive game. And I can see it's not that good. And you have to use your Super Scoper thing, the gun you got with this. You can both to the bazooka kind of thing. And then we have some Street Fighter thing where you can learn the different moves, I think. Sonic Boom. A lot of Street Fighter. Holy shit. It's just a walkthrough with all tips and tricks and with the characters. And again, the game over is so weird. I've got a little comic. And again, I have cut out a side, sadly. The Super Mario Bros. Movie. So bad it's good. Awesome. Alright. Yeah, here you can see it's called Starwing. It's so funny. So Star Fox ended up being called Starwing. So now we got the September version of the magazines back in 1993. Sneak premiere. Oh, Super Turrican. You get that for Switch now. Got some Zelda comic. Power Player. Pretty boring things in this magazine. Not the best one. Nothing interesting yet. Oh, okay. Link's Awakening. Oh, I have to be careful. We got Spider-Man and the X-Men. 5 and 7 out of 10. Poggin Rocky. Okay, so they are split again here. There are two different views of the game. Review the game. I don't think it's a pretty good game. I have only played the Switch version. I didn't like it actually. And the Jetson. I've played the Super NES version of Jetson, and actually that's one of the games I really want in my collection, but sadly it's extremely rare and pricey. So that's sad. Wow, a football game, 3 out of 10. Some Zelda comic. Okay, that was a pretty bad magazine, this one. There was almost no interesting thing in this. Or maybe it was just me. Then we got the October version back in 1993. Ooh, Jurassic Park. Let's hope that this is a little more interesting. Okay, we got Yoshi Safari. That's a weird SNES game where you are riding on Yoshi's back and shoot things. And a Danish podcast, the Endcast, was talking about this game for 2 weeks ago, and they thought it was very cursed when they looked at on the graphic. So my brother actually have it, and I played, and it's not a good game. I actually had this game, Tasmania. is a running game where you have to eat birds. It's actually a pretty good game, as I remember. It was pretty difficult. The comics fills a lot in the magazines. Axel-A. This should be a pretty good shoot 'em ups. Whoa, 9 out of 10. Look at that boss, that's epic. As I remember, he had a weird front cover in USA where, maybe it was in Europe, where a man sitting with a banjo and playing. It's so weird. You have to look up the front cover for Axel-A. I'm not sure if it is USA version or the European version, but one of the versions is so weird. And then we have Soul Blazer. Nice. And that's one of the rare games for the SNES. One moment, I can show you. Where do I have it? Yeah. Sorry. I have this game, Soul Blazer. So this game is extremely rare for the Super Nintendo, and I bought it for around, I think I bought it for around 2,300 Danish crown. I'm not sure what that's around. I think that's around $320 purchase for that. So yeah, that's rare, and it's complete in box. 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I have actually not played. The reason why I really want this is because I want the Quintus trilogy, where it's Time of the Illusion of Time, and in Europe, in USA, it's called Illusion of Gaia, and then we have Terranigma. They're only released in Europe, so USA didn't got that game, and I have that too. I can show you. So I have the whole trilogy. It's not an official trilogy, but it's still called the trilogy. So yeah. And then we have Tailspins and Super Double Dragon. Join the Mac. I'm gonna try it. Classic one. And again, the game over screen. Yeah. And then we have the November version, back in 1993. What? Again, we have the same number? What? Is it the same phone number? I have to check. Okay, it is the same phone number. What the fuck? What is that number? It's so weird. Why? Again, some Street Fighter thing. Oh, the Magical Crest. Nice. Here we have a sneak premiere for Yoshi Sapphire. What does it say? The new Nintendo Scoop game come from Nintendo. It's by themselves, and it's the first game where Yoshi have the head leading. Is the front character. You're riding on him and shooting on Goombas and other different enemies. From the Mario universe. The game is made to the younger player. And he has a good graphic and good sound. This game will hopefully shows up in Denmark very soon, it says. something like that. So yeah, it's not a good game. And then we have the Addams Family. That should be a pretty interesting game. I really want to play that game. It should be pretty good. And of course we have Super Mario All-Stars, one of the best games for the Super Nintendo. Pocky and Rocky. The Game Over screen again. Sorry for spoiling things. And we got Lost Vikings. That's such a good game. You are playing as the 3 Vikings, and you shift between the 3 Vikings, and one of them can jump, the other can attack, and the third can only defense. So everyone have a different ability. So yeah, 9 out of 10 and 8 out of 10. It's an amazing game. The second one is good too. Lemlings. I've never been a fan of Lemlings, but good. Shuriken. Again, cut off. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Mortal Kombat. Top game. I've never been the biggest fighter player. Okay, that's interesting. They have 2 that review the game. One of them gives 6 out of 10 and another gives a 9 out of 10. Darkwing Duck. Alien 3. 8 out of 10. Impressive. This is so funny because so many people hate Bubsy nowadays, and it's almost been a thing hating on the cat. But look at this. Back for the Super Nintendo in the Nintendo magazine, they gave it an 8 out of 10 and 9 out of 10 and called it a top game. And I must admit, I really love the game. I don't understand why the game got so much bashing on it. Yeah, the PlayStation game, the Bubsy 3D, is a very bad game, but the first one is actually pretty good. Well, let me hear what they're saying. Let's read what they're saying. Let's take the 9 out of 10. With the release of Bubsy, we hopefully... sorry, one moment. Okay, that's pretty funny actually. They say, with the release of Bubsy, we hopefully are done hearing about that Sonic games with that speed in Sonic games can't be played on the Super Nintendo because Bubsy is pretty fast in Bubsy. The Bubsy's speedness means that it says that it can be difficult to control Bubsy. Otherwise, but it still says it's a good platform game you should look at. It doesn't seem like it's a 9 out of 10 out of the thing that it says it's a pretty difficult to control. I think I have to read it again. It says it will be easy to be impossible to control if it goes too fast with Bubsy. Okay, so it only says if you don't, if you move too fast with Bubsy, it can be difficult to control. And true on that, the control is probably the worst thing with the game, but it's still an amazing game. Alien 3 and Super what? SWW4? I'm not sure. Flintstones. We got a lot of Flintstones games back then. Roadrunner. McDonald Land. Ooh, 4 out of 10. The Game Boy version. Oh god, Zelda comics again. Pro Connor. Okay. Next up, we got the first number in January 1994. So I'm around 4 years old then. Oh, Jurassic Park. I had bought the Switch version of this game, the collector edition, the big one, the ultimate collector edition. I hope it will arrive soon, but Limited Run can be sometimes pretty slow to release the games. It's almost a year since I pre-ordered the game, so. And I actually got this game. It's so cheap to get it for the Super NES now, but I actually liked the game back then. I liked it. Oh, that's dark. It was a Majora's Mask before Nintendo made Majora's Mask. So we get a map over Link's Awakening. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Wow, okay, they gave it a 10 out of 10. Both player. Awesome. And we got Mega Man 5. Such a good Mega Man game. I actually love this level where you shift between being upside down and on the ground. Yeah, a totally classic. Super Mario All-Stars, such a good game. 10 out of 10 for both people. And Zombies Eat My Neighbors. I had that game for the Switch. I have the collector edition, actually. And if you want, you can see the unboxing on the channel. Yeah. And number 2, back in 1994. Daffy Duck. I think I had that game actually back then. So much comic. Wow. Okay, Jurassic Park. Okay, nice. Yeah, Jurassic Park is one of my favorite movies of all time, the first one. I really love it. And I was absolutely this. I was totally into dinosaurs when I was little. So yeah. Speedy Gonzales. Oh, I had that game too. I actually like that game, Spot. The I think it's a 7-Up character. Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Tiny Toons Adventures 2. Oh, holy shit, kaboom. Number 3 in March. I must admit, there are a lot of uninteresting things in the magazines. I remember them having more reviews in games, but there are a lot of comics. World premiere. Oh, Secret of Mana. Such an awesome game. One of my favorite games of all time. ActRaiser, yeah. And it says about the favorite games back in 1993. So it says best graphic, they say Mickey Mouse. I think that must be Mickey Mouse and the Magical Quest then. best sound ActRaiser. And number 2 is Starwing, and that's Star Fox. So weird. Best challenge Super Mario All-Star, sorry. Best front leader Mario. Number 3 is Mickey Mouse. Lol. Best game was Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario Kart, wow. And the Starwing. Super Mario Kart is such a good game. So in graphic for the NES, it was Mega Man 5 and 4. And the best game back then was Mega Man 5. I think that's pretty funny because I think nowadays people like Mega Man 4 better than 5. I love Mega Man 5, but I think 4 is more appreciated by the fans nowadays. And best game for the Game Boy was Zelda Link's Awakening. Oh yeah, we have Aladdin, the Capcom version. Such a good game. You can get this on the Switch too. Such a good game. I love this world, the Genie world. Super Empire Strikes Back. That should be a pretty good game too. Difficult one. Winter Olympics. Lillehammer. Little Hammer. Rock and Roll Racing. I've never heard about that game. I don't remember anything about that. Super Mario Bros. Yeah. And then we got a comics too. Again. High score. Got Bubsy. A cheat code for Bubsy. Oh, you can skip levels. You can get the code here. Then you can skip the whole level. All the levels. If you don't like the game and just want to see the last world. And then we got the magazines in April 1994 with Mega Man 6 in the front cover. And I'm pretty sure that we never got Mega Man 6 here in Europe. So it's pretty interesting that it's on the front cover. And you know what? We never got Chrono Trigger. We never got Chrono Trigger either. And Super Mario RPG. Oh, that was so weird. We didn't got those games. Clay Fighter. I was borrowed that game back in Blockbuster, and I remember hating it. It wasn't a good game. But the graphic was pretty interesting because every character was made out of, it looks like a claymation. I love that they forgot to give them a number on the score here. And here too, they hadn't get any numbers. What the fuck? So they forgot just to give a score to any games in this magazine. Wow. Wow. And it keeps on going. Oh, you have the score here, but not on graphic and things like that. Young Marlin. Okay, I've never heard about that game. Punch Out. Okay. And the last magazines. Yeah, I went through them pretty fast, but I think that there wasn't actually that much to talk about. I just want to scroll through the magazines again and just see the different games that was shown, and I hope that some of you love to see the different games, even though you can't read it because it's in Danish. And here we got the year's best game back in 1993. And we got the best game was Super Mario All-Stars back then. That's graphic, that's sound, that's challenge, and that's the character the best like. And they got Bubsy as number 4. Holy shit. As the best character. That's so funny. Mega Man 5 won the best game for the NES. And of course Zelda Link's Awakening for the Game Boy. Daffy Duck. Oh. Only 6 and 5 out of 10. What is that? Oh, Sky Blazer. That should be such a good game. And it's made by Sony. That's so fun. It's a pretty expensive game if you want it complete in box. And it should be a hidden gem. It should be such a good game. I really want it for my Super Nintendo. It's just expensive. But the graphic, look at that. The rain is looking awesome. I really want to play that game. It should be a pretty short game. But a good game too. And then we got the Flintstone. I have this game. Such a good game too. It's like a board game, but every step you there's a level in every area on the board. So that's pretty interesting. A great, very easy game, but it's a good game. Luigi as Peach. Terrifying. Bubsy. But yeah. That was a nice little trip down memory land. I get very nostalgic by scrolling through these magazines, and I like just sometimes to go back in time and see older games. I really think that Super Nintendo games is still one of the best games back then. It still holds up back nowadays. We got so many classics. It was a time that I really appreciate in my life when I was playing Super Nintendo games. But yeah, I have some GameCube magazines and N64 magazines, I think, but they are not from my childhood. I got it afterwards, and some have donated some of the magazines to me afterwards. So, but if people like this video, I will make a new one where we scroll through these. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This was Stank from the P-Wing. Purple loves you all. Bye.